Hello. I wanted to share some thoughts on some comments I saw recently on a forum. It's actually on LinkedIn. Not that that's important, but this sort of string of comments will come up quite frequently on different social media platforms, and it's comments about the RSL. Somebody will make a comment that the RSL is out of touch and they're only in it for the pokey money and they're all greedy and they're all corrupt and yada 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 yada. And I just wanted to offer my 10 cents worth. I have a fond and not so fond relationship with the RSL, the Returned and Services League of Australia. I am involved in my own local sub-branch. I'm the secretary of the Serpentine Jarrahdale RSL, and I'm not speaking on behalf of my sub-branch and my committee members or the members. This is just my own little personal view. I'm very happy to be a member of the RSL, and it's a good outlet for me. Haven't quite achieved the things that I would like to see yet, because our membership is, most of them are quite elderly, and there's only a few young ones, and most of those young ones are like me on the committee, and thinking of myself as young at 63. In the Shire here, in our catchment area, there are over 300 DVA clients, yet they seem to stay away in droves. But what I wanted to point out to some of the critics of the RSL, those who like to, wave big hands over little maps and say, oh, the RSL, blah, 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 maybe you could pause for a moment and think about which part of the RSL you're talking about, because here in WA there's over 100 sub-branches or something like that. I know in South Australia, Northern Territory, when I used to work at the state branch there, we had about 130 odd sub-branches, and similarly in the eastern states, they have hundreds of sub-branches. Now each sub-branch is its own legal entity under the various associations, acts and so on in each state. They're controlled by state legislation. And while there's a national organisation, national headquarters based in the ACT, it too is governed by, whatever the equivalent of the Associations Act is in the ACT. And the RSL is not a top-down organisation, it's a bottom-up organisation. So, it needs members to join, and, they form ideas and get enterprise going at sub-branch level, and that influence the state branch, and the state branches influence national. Yes, there's policies and so on, but they're all just like a democracy, they develop up from the bottom. And for those people who take the view that, and almost seem very proud of the fact that they don't like the RSL for whatever reason, whatever their grievance is or point of annoyance, they're using a blunderbuss to try and address, some specific issues. And frankly, when people go on that sort of tirade or hold those sort of views, I think they're missing the point. And often, of course, they're not members of the RSL. So, they think, why doesn't the RSL do this and why doesn't the RSL do that? Well, the RSL is made of members, and it's the members who decide, through their committees, what they need to do and where they need to spend their resources. So if you're unhappy with what's going on, then feel free to sign up and join the RSL, pay your dues and get involved and try and get something going. It's a bit like, I don't like Australian rules football. I went to an Australian rules football club once to watch a game, and somebody said blah blah blah, and I didn't like that, and I think therefore all football is rubbish. Well, just because you went to the West Manangatang, under 18s game and you didn't like it, it's hardly fair on every other football club around Australia, for you to spew your bile on them. Every club is its own entity, and everyone would kind of understand that. Oh well, yeah, over here in this club they have a certain rule. If you want to be involved, if your kids are playing or whatever, then these are the terms and conditions, under which they sign up. These are the fees. This is what we do. This is how we fundraise, and so on and so on. These are the rules of this club. We generally conform to, regional rules and division rules, and so on and so on. And depending which level of the association or the football league you're up to, not a lot of difference. But so by all means, be uncomfortable with what another organisation does. This is it's a free country. You can like it or not. But if you want to have a little tanty about it, then you're welcome to join in and put a shoulder to the wheel and help change it. That's it for now.